I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed, just like the woman who has a brand new book out. Yeah, that book is called What? Oh, Nothing. Just Eat Happy Italian. And she is an Eat Happy Italian because she's an Italian and she wrote a book. It's called Eat Happy Italian. Go get it right now. You get it everywhere. I'm talking about the beautiful Miss Anna Vocino. Yeah. That guy was part of my childhood. Anna, you know who that is, right?
Mr. David Bowie.
David Bowie. Yeah.
Sir David Bowie, sir. He was knighted.
And let me tell you something. Whenever people, they'll say to me, oh, come on, was David Bowie that good? It's like, let me tell you something. The disco era came around, and he did a song during the disco era and had the tenacity, the temerity to get a very young one, Mr. Stevie Ray Vaughan, to do a few licks in that song.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you should know that. It was before.
Now I do.
It was before Stevie Ray was signed with any label. He had played the Montrose Jazz Festival, and David Bowie. He went there.
Can you imagine? David Bowie's like, "You, sir, please come play on my next album." You'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah, he asked him to tour with him, and Stevie Ray Vaughan said, "With all due respect, I want to go off." Can you imagine? You're nobody yet, but you blow him away at Montrose, and David Bowie comes up to you and says, "I want you to travel with us," and you go, "Yeah, no, I got my own 3-man band over here, and and he goes, "Just come in the studio. I need to get you on this Let's Dance album." Remember that song? Let's Dance. You know that riff on your red shoes and dance some blues. Exactly.
That's pretty good, right?
Here, wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't know that.
Yes.
You just taught us all a bit of lore.
Yeah.
A little bit of history.
But Anna, people won't understand. I mean, we were just talking about something, and I said to you, we were talking about Genesis, and you said, your generation just didn't get Genesis, right? That whole band. Well, yeah. I mean,
we definitely had Genesis.
Well, you were talking about Phil Collins.
Phil Collins solo. That was my intro into Genesis, was Phil Collins solo and Peter Gabriel solo.
Right. And then I brought up a song and you were like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, you know the
song. The name of the song.
As soon as I started playing the song, you went, oh, that song? Should we play a little bit of it right here?
No.
And when you did that, I went, oh, you mean Paper Late? And you were like, wait, you know the name of that? Yeah.
You truly are a savant with music.
Here it is. So when we did that, I did that. And you said to me, what did you ask me about the word?
Oh, it was like, I thought he was saying day by day, not day by day. And you're like, no.
Yeah. And then I told you what Paper Late meant.
Right. It's like saying extra, extra, read all about it.
Yeah. Like in this country, we used to call it extra. It was like the afternoon news, like stuff that didn't make the morning news.
Right.
And newsboys back in the extra, extra, read all about it. And they would go out with papers and try to sell a few papers in the afternoon. In England, just like England doesn't call the hood of a car a hood,
right?
They call it a bonnet.
Bonnet.
They don't call it a windshield. They call it a windscreen. And
they call it aluminum. They call it aluminium. And they even spell it that way too.
Yeah, the British have no idea how to spell and how to speak. They live with one. They just have no idea. And
she can't help the way she was raised.
But yeah, Paper Late is one of those. It means extra, extra in England. The paper boys will go around going, paper late, So now you guys know. Yeah. I've had to hear this twice now. Now you guys have learned what I've learned. Number 1, Vinnie is truly a savant about music. Number 2, Paper Late means extra, extra, read all about it. I didn't even know that. And you
also, don't play that song anymore because I hate it. Thank you.
Which song?
So much.
Wait, I want to make sure I don't play the song. Which song do you not want to hear again?
Paper Late.
All right. So
I'm going to jam out. I don't care. I'm going to jam out.
Folks, listen, I'm a teacher by trade, and I'm going to teach you all kinds of stuff, mostly about health and fitness on this podcast. But you know what? we decided a long time ago, and Anna and I started this well over 12 years ago. Is it 13 years yet, Anna? How long has this been doing
Almost
this?
13 years, lucky 13.
I decided early on that if you just got on and talked about fitness, you listen to all these other fitness podcasts, and all they do is they drone on, right? So we've always put the fun into dysfunction. So we talk about other things. We try to keep it hip and young and fresh. As a matter of fact, my book, Fitness Confidential, was
Hip
that.
and young and fresh. You and I are hip and young and fresh.
Oh yeah, all the kids
Is
know who
it?
I am.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So look, we talk a lot about fitness here, but we like to have a little fun along the way. Speaking of my book being young, hip, and fresh, my book is now 11 or 12 years old. And Anna has 2 books that have some age on them. But,
Yeah.
unlike me, Anna took it to a different level. She went, you know what? Fuck Vinnie. Screw that guy. I'm going to go out and put a new book out because I came up with all these recipes. Now,
Yeah.
let me clue the audience in. And Anna, if you want to jump in at some point,
I would love to.
Feel free to jump in.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
When Anna did the research on her first book, Eat Happy, the original, the capo di tutti, as they would call it, of cookbook.
The flagship.
The flagship. She figured out that most people out there, and some of these people are famous. I'm not going to mention any names. I almost did. But they will go and just take recipes off the internet. They don't test them. They don't do anything. They throw them in a book. They put a few nice pictures up.
Now I know where you're going with this. Yes.
And they put a cookbook out.
Yeah.
Well, Anna put out Eat Happy, and she didn't do that.
No, I wrote everything from scratch.
Yeah, she said, "Wait, I'm now good friends with Vinnie Tortorich. I'm pretty much Vinnie with a vagina.
Oh God,
I'm gonna do things the hardest way possible." Which is the way I do things.
We didn't know you and I both do things the hardest way possible. We didn't know that
like
about each other.
There's an easy way out. I could go steal some recipes and throw some pictures next to them and call it my cookbook.
It turns my stomach.
Ew. I mean, we learned early on that there was someone, they're not really around anymore, but they were selling like ebooks early. I'm talking like back in 2011 or something.
Making bank, honestly.
Oh, they were making bank. They were going, yeah. And Anna goes, wait,
a month, yeah.
Yeah. Or wait, hang on. You're doing what? She was like, I'm selling recipes. I got all these recipes and I sell them to people. People sign up and we sell them. And Anna and I, being like complete novices and rookies, and a fair bit older than these people, even though Anna is a lot younger than me, but we're older than all these young internet people. Anna, asked, it was almost like a babe in the woods. And she was like Bambi. She was like, wow, how did you come up with so many recipes? And this girl started laughing. She was like, I don't know how to cook. I just went on the internet and Googled recipes and just took the recipes and called them mine. You just go in.
It's so crazy. And I got to think now with AI, you could definitely do it. Because I've run some things through AI just to see what's doing. And I was like, it's passable. And now with food photography and what is it? Not open art. What is that one? You can put anything in and AI comes up with some thing. Yeah. It's crazy. So it's like, but ultimately, I feel like as a human, we want to make sure that recipes work, right? Don't we care about quality? I do.
Well, you and I do, but apparently not many people do. And look, I can sit and say, I don't want to get off on this, but that's why I can't get vitamins. And I've just figured out how to get all the ingredients to make the world's best vitamins again.
Good.
I had to take over my company to do it and go out and make deals and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I could have easily white labeled some shit, put it in a bottle, and nobody would have been any wiser.
I mean,
right? But
the amount of people doing that is shocking. Let me just say something. I used to do voiceover maybe probably like 20 years now. So, when you see an infomercial on TV and then you call it up and you want to order the thing.
Right.
Okay. So not only would I voice the infomercial for the thing, but also I would voice the phone system that they send you down, the rabbit hole they send you down. And now they have a whole bunch of voices and the client just chooses. I remember one of the products was the Hurricane, where it's like a cane that's more stable and you could walk faster with it. Another one was like a Snuggie ripoff. You know, it was basically like a body bag that you put yourself into and watch TV, and tons of beauty, skin creams, tons of supplements, right?
Right.
And, you know, they just pay you an hourly thing. And it's great hourly money. And these scripts are so insane because they take you down the rabbit hole of trying to upsell you on all the things.
Right.
And then I got to be friends with them and they said, yeah, basically what they do, like if a product doesn't really sell, like a supplement, they'll literally come up with some new name and a new colored label and use the same footage and then change everything. And then they put new stickers over it. They said that they have supplements that are like 5, 10 years old that they just keep putting new stickers on, new labels on, and selling them. I was like, what?
And Anna, look, when we got, and I'm going to get back to your book, but when things got tight, you know, after the pandemic, when all these supply chains broke,
Yeah.
they were offering us, is like, listen, you don't have to stop production. We can just give you this.
Yeah.
And you could just put this in your bottle. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That people count on my magnesium. They count on my multivitamins. They count on me telling the truth.
Yeah.
And that was part of, and look, I get it, a lot of people are mad at me right now. They're mad at the wrong guy.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I have one life. I have my integrity. You know, as they said in the great movie Scarface, I got my balls and my words, and I'm not going to break either one of them. Right. And I wasn't willing to do it. So here I am, you know, with people going, you suck. And look, we had problems.
Oh, really?
With service. Oh, you would be shocked. We had problems with my customer service. I fired a lot of people that worked in customer service, people who weren't doing. It was like, wait, you're supposed to be telling people this. And they were just pushing stuff under the rug, not doing their job and collecting a check. People were stealing from me. My own employees were not doing their job. They're stealing from me.
That's rough.
Right?
I'm sorry.
So I look, when you're us and you're trying to do the right thing, it's tough. So when Anna, getting back to Anna's book, what she did was she wanted to do all photography on the actual food she was making. She couldn't afford a photographer, but she was able to afford a really nice camera and figured out how to do food photography. And not only that, and you know what? I was the recipient of a lot of this. Every Sunday when I was
that was
at Anna's
fun.
house, she was like, wait, I just did this recipe. You want to try it? I would tell Serena would go, you're not eating breakfast today. I was like, yeah, I'm getting to Anna's house in about an hour.
Yeah.
She's going to stuff me up with food.
Yeah. I'll feed you.
Yeah, it was every Sunday. You know, it was just something else from Eat Happy, because this woman made every single thing from scratch. She took all the pictures. So all the pictures you see in the book, the cover, everything else, that's all Anna Vocino, folks. You know, I'm so proud of these books in which she's been able to accomplish. It's just unbelievable. Friend. And then Eat Happy 2 came out. The only thing is she spelled 2, T-O-O. So I'm not sure about
so dumb.
Emory. You can't falter.
Yeah, we didn't get a good education at Emory.
So Eat Happy 2 came out, and I was like, oh, lightning is not going to strike twice. There's no way. But it did. That book became a schmega hit.
Yeah.
And people started saying, hey, I want to eat Italian food. And painstakingly, Anna went right back to the drawing board and did Eat Happy Italian.
Well, I wasn't going to do that. I honestly wasn't. The second book launch was so stressful. I was like, I'm not doing this again.
I told her not to. But
it's too much. As you know, now having done 4 movies, every time I'm so tired of the promotional thing of it. Today I got a crown replaced, and Debbie was texting me about sending her some links and stuff and making you a collaborator on something, which I'll film after this. And I was like, I am literally going to get dental work done, and I would rather do that than to continue promoting, but I have to promote. So here we are. I'm going to have cooking videos coming out soon. And I want to tell you something, Vinny. So, you know that in the beginning of the book, there's a seared carpaccio salad in the starters. And I learned finally what a Chateaubriand is.
A what?
You heard me.
What did you say?
Chateaubriand.
Chateaubriand.
That was worth you queuing that up. Now re-cue it because I'm going to say it again. Okay.
You're going to say what again?
Chateaubriand.
Chateaubriand.
Thank you. You got to stop it in time. See, we don't know how to isolate one thing and then turn it into the button.
No.
But so he's literally on YouTube, like re-cueing it.
Chateaubriand.
Thank you. Let me tell everybody what Chateaubriand is. So
Chateaubriand.
thank you. Not Sauerbraten. Chateaubriand.
Chateaubriand.
So I go to the butcher and I need a pound or two of beef tenderloin. And he says, which part of the beef tenderloin do you want? And I was like, I want the middle, the good part. He goes, you want the Chateaubriand. I'm waiting for you. You're not doing it.
Hang on.
He's trying to text while I'm talking.
Chateaubriand.
And I was like, is that what that is? That's what Chateaubriand is? He's like, yeah, it's the center part of the beef tenderloin. So it's the most expensive, most tender part of the beef tenderloin. So if you really want to be fancy with your beef carpaccio, ask for the Chateaubriand from your butcher, which is the center part of the beef tenderloin. But I'll have that cooking video uploaded to my YouTube. Uploaded to my YouTube soon. Order, eat, happy Italian. Thanks. The bonuses are still available. I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to talk fitness questions.
And listen, if you want to get the bonus, put in promo code
Chateaubriand.
Good luck with that. Try to put in the promo code Chateaubriand into Amazon and see what it does.
So Anna, there's a guy and his wife.
Yeah.
I spoke to a long time ago. His name is Rob.
Okay.
His last name is Shapiro. That's what I was doing, texting.
Oh.
Rob Shapiro and his wife, we did a consult back in 2021. And he sent me photos of his wife, Laurie, today. This is her in her wedding dress. Can you see that?
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, that's ugly. That's Rob's ugly mug. There's a second photo. Let me look at this. She's back in her wedding dress.
Oh, that is awesome.
They did consult.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah.
Her name is Laura?
Laurie.
Laurie. Congrats, Laurie.
Shapiro. And I'm going to read what he wrote. I just got this right before. Vinnie, my wife has been listening to you for the last 3 years, and now she can fit into her wedding dress. Today, we're celebrating our 14th year wedding anniversary.
Aww.
Thank you, NSNG. And he promised me if I ever make it out to MD, he will give me a, that's up in Maryland. He will give me a helicopter ride.
Oh.
So,
you
yeah.
got to do that.
Yeah, that's not too far. I wonder if he could come pick me up and get me to this event I'm going to this weekend.
Oh, you do not want to drive through traffic. You need a helicopter.
Oh, and if I can land on the mall,
Rob,
the helicopter,
make it happen. If you could fly over a bunch of government buildings, Rob.
Oh, God, wait,
just
hang
get
on.
clearance and make it happen.
You know how? Come on, I would be like the biggest rock stars. Like he hasn't shown up. Next up on the stage is Vinnie, and all of a sudden,
yeah, you come in Mission Impossible style. Yeah. I would like you to be kind of like dangling from the helicopter, though. Can you do that in a suit?
Yeah.
In a suit.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe like Bond, and have on like the tuxedo.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Rob, that's his name?
Yeah, Rob Shapiro and his wife, Laura.
Rob, we're going to need you to step it up, okay? We're going to need you to really step it up. Take old Vinnie to the mall.
This is coming out on Monday, and
you need to send him a contextual message and let him know that he's going to have to step it up.
Let me do it right now. Let me send him a message right now. Hey, Rob, would you mind picking me up in Charlottesville and dropping me off near the Washington Monument on Sunday? Question mark. Let's see what he says. Just drop me right there on the mall, right next to the Washington Monument.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
There's got to be a helipad. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, though, on the mall, though.
How many AR-15s you think would be streamed on me by the time the door of that helicopter opened?
They would shoot you out of the sky. You would not even be alive by the time you hit the ground. So
Yeah.
that's what would happen.
Yeah. World's biggest idiot.
Being someone who grew up in DC, they will shoot whatever unidentified things out of the air.
He wrote back, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I could probably do it, ... once.
Yeah, exactly. I like Rob. Rob doesn't even know he's being recorded right now.
Yeah. Well, he told me I can use his name and probably walk away a smoking hole in the ground.
There you go.
But at minimum in handcuffs. So
At
he's
minimum. No, he would
Yes,
you would all be dead. That
Yeah.
would be your last airborne mission.
Yeah. And I can see the headlines now. Idiot tries to land a plane to get a guy.
Idiot savant fitness trainer. Last words were paper late. Don't do it, Vinnie.
Yeah. It would be paper late.
Last song you ever heard. Shania Twain.
Brother-in-law was blown to bits on the mall near the Washington Monument.
Trying to get people to stop eating sugar.
He was on a mission.
I'm just trying to help your blood pressure.
I don't want you to have type 2 diabetes. Yeah. Yeah. And my last words would be this.
Chateaubriand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So do you want me to ask you some questions? Because it's been about a month or so since you've been on Row.
but wait,
And
before you get to that, I want to talk
Oh.
about a medical condition.
Oh.
I have a medical condition. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be getting radiation 5 days in a row next week. And
Why?
I'm doing this as a public service announcement to people who have Dupuytren. Do you know what Dupuytren's is, Anna?
You talked about it on an episode several months ago.
Yeah, you get these cords in your hand and your fingers start locking up and the whole thing. And I have these cords that run through my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out I've learned a lot about Dupuytren's contracture. I also have knots in the arches of my feet, and that's called Lederhosen, which is the foot version of Dupuytren's contraction. It's called Lederhosen contraction. So the doctor asked me when I went in, he goes, do you also have Peyronie's disease? Do you know what Peyronie's is?
No, Peroni's a beer, and that's all I know.
Well, it's also when your penis bends like in an L shape.
Oh,
He goes, do you have Peyronie's?
we're
And I said,
going there right now.
and he goes, he goes, do you have Peyronie's? I said, no. He goes, are you sure? And it's like, listen, I would know if there was a 90-degree bend in my cock. And he started
90 degrees, or it's just slightly bent?
I don't know. It bends, apparently. I don't have whatever, And he goes, do you have any brothers? And I said, yeah, I have 3. He goes, do any of those have Peyronie's? And I said, how would I know that? I mean, you think my brothers, we get together, it's like, hey, my cock is bent at 90 degrees. And he started laughing again. And I said, Doc, what does this have to do with my Dupuytrens and my Lederhosen and my feet? He said, all 3 diseases, happen. And what happens is, he goes, have your hands been calloused and cut up a lot? I went, oh, my hands have been chopped up a lot in my life. I've had constant calluses. I said, look, you can look right now, I got calluses. He goes, yeah, you're all calloused up. What happens is your body sends cells down to the callus to create the calluses, right?
Right.
And it's an overreaction of cells that just keep wrapping around the tendons in your hand, and it creates a cord. And that's what causes your fingers to get all knurled up. Well, here's the public service announcement. If you get it fixed early, then it doesn't move to the next level where your hands become these.
Oh, yeah.
So
I always thought that was arthritis, but that's Dupuytren's.
it could be arthritis, but this is Dupuytren's, and mine is still at a stage. So Now, here's what people are going to ask. There are 3 different things you can do. My buddy Adam Carolla, his last 2 fingers were like that.
Yeah.
He couldn't get his racing gloves on his hand to race anymore. So he finally had to go, and they did a surgery where they cut the cords out and your fingers are able to go back. The problem with that is you build up new scar tissue where they cut it, and eventually with time it goes back again. There's another thing you could do now where you can inject it and it goes in, it dissolves the calluses around the cords, right? The problem with that is it rebuilds faster and worse. And then you end up having to get the surgery where they have to go and cut again. Well, I have that woman on my show, Mimi. I think we just go by Mimi. I don't know if she says her last name. I can't remember. But Mimi was on the show. She's the woman who fixed herself with carnivore. And she just happened to mention that she had Dupuytren contracture, and she went to this doctor in Northern Virginia. Who he was one of the early guys that learned this technique. So they put you on the same machine that you go, like if you have your prostate zapped, for cancer, or if you have breast cancer and they zap it, is that same linear accelerator. They zap your hands and the bottom of your feet 5 days in a row. You wait 12 weeks and you go back in for another 5 days and they do it again. And some people say that it clears up, but the doctor said the most you can hope for is to just stop it in its tracks so that you don't end up getting the surgery. It just it kills it off.
So that's why you want to do that process as early as possible.
As early as you can. Yeah. So apparently the liquid, getting the stuff injected in is not a good way to go. The surgery is a way to go, but not, they got to slice your hand open. So now you got stitches and everything else, and they have to remove these cords. So there's some pain. This is a painless procedure that can basically cauterize what's going on. And in Mimi's case, she told me it actually reversed it. I saw on the internet where, a good percentage, 30, 40% of people will say, yeah, I had, like a reversal. So I'm hoping just to stop it. So yeah, that's why I'm staying in Washington overnight.
Okay. That'd be amazing. So you're going to do that.
Yeah. My first one is Monday morning. So I'm going to stay Sunday night, go Monday morning. And then,
but you have to do it 5 days in a row?
Yeah. I'm going to have to go up to Washington 4 more days in a row.
You're not just going to stay up there?
No, I got podcasts to do. I have phone calls. I have meetings with the vitamin company. It's just not, it's better for me just to come back every day and get to work and then go back the next day. Yeah. But I did plan to go one evening and then the next morning so that maybe I can stay over once again and just avoid one drive once again. So I did plan it out just a bit, as much as I could. So if you have Dupuytren's contracture, if you have these knots on the bottom of your feet, one more, public service announcement here. I've been rolling out the one on the bottom of my feet, it's on each foot. I have 2 golf balls that sit right next to my chair when I'm watching football or whatever. I take my shoes off and roll that golf ball. Turns out that makes it worse.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I've been making it worse I get that ball and I just
does it stimulate? It stimulates the cells to go there and build more. They're like, you're hurting us. We're going to do more.
Yeah, we're going to go in the opposite direction of what you want.
Bummer.
So
we learned about Peyronie's disease.
Yeah, I learned something about Peyronie's. I learned that it's not just a beer; it's a crooked cock, and Dupuytren's is in your hand, and then in your feet you have what's called lederhosen. So you can go check all that out. If you have any of that, go get it looked at.
For real,
my
go
insurance
get it looked at.
Is paying for it.
Don't wait till your hands are unable to open.
Yeah, don't wait till it goes too far. That's all I can tell you. So there you have it, Anna. The new people coming in. What would you like to?
Well, I have a few questions now that people are about a month in, and it got me thinking about the typical questions that come in at about 4 to 6 weeks. The people who have really committed they're noticing some results. They're feeling good, and they either want to take it to the next level or maybe they've noticed, well, it was really fast at first and now it's not, So I wanted to go through a couple of questions. And then this is a very typical one that we get too. So let me ask this first one. Lou asked, right now I am combining intermittent fasting with NSNG and finding great results that have continued on for more than a few months. Is there anything else that I could do to keep my loss rolling on top of what I'm already doing?
But we don't know what's the person's name, Anna?
Lou. No, I don't know any other details.
Yeah. All right. So Lou, the biggest, and your question is fairly broad, and I don't mean to be broad with an answer, but I'm going to have to be because your question is broad. The bottom line, what happens most times is people, they don't, I hate using the word lazy, but they get comfortable in this new lifestyle, right? And what I see is, Lou, I'll give you an example. I hear this in the VIP group. I hear it in the phone calls that I do, every day. Then I've lost 100 pounds. I've lost 150 pounds. I've lost 75 pounds, some amount of weight, but I'm not there yet. And I seem to be on the word I hate, a plateau.
Mm-hmm.
And I always go, okay, wait, a plateau. Are you gaining weight? No, but I'm not losing weight. Okay, so you're winning. You're still winning. By not gaining weight, you're still winning. Now we have to discover what you were doing before. And at first, when I talk to people, and Anna, as you know, I've been doing this for 40 years, people tell you what they think you want to hear. And they also tell you what they actually want to do. It's not based.
What do you mean? Like, give an example.
Dr. Drew once told me that if, he deals in addiction, right? Yeah. And if he says to someone, how many drinks do you have per day? And if someone says 4 or 5, they're meaning 8, or they really mean 8
Double
or 10.
It. Yeah.
Right. So, and I've talked to other addiction specialists like Drew, and I says, Dr. Drew right about that? And they go, oh, yeah. Whatever people tell us, in our minds, we just double it. Right. And whenever people are talking to me, a lot of times I have to go through with them and listen, don't try to impress me. Don't try to impress yourself. Mm-hmm. Let's get down and dirty here. I hate using this term, but granular. Let's get down to.
So what would be an example of somebody who, food-wise, not addiction, like not like alcohol, but what would they tell you that they're eating versus they're not eating, but you have to get to the bottom of it? Like what would be?
Sometimes they'll give me the perfect diet, right? When I'll say, take me through it, and they'll give me the perfect diet. And I didn't hear anything.
Like, I'm only having chicken breast and 2 pieces of broccoli for every meal. You're like,
I'm going to tell you, this is an actual one that happened about 7 or 8 years ago. This woman and her husband both lost significant weight. I think he had lost 60 or 70 pounds. She had lost 30 or 40. And they didn't have a lot to lose. That's all they had to lose. And they noticed that they were both putting weight back on. Or they still had some weight to lose. They weren't there yet, but they started gaining weight. And this happened pretty quickly. And I was like, take me through it. And she told me about their diet, and it was perfect. As a matter of fact, it was more perfect than the way I eat.
Yeah.
And I eat pretty spot on. So I was perplexed and I was confused. So I talked to her for a little while, and I said, take me through it again. And the second time around, she says, yeah, we both if she's still listening to the podcast, she's going to know I'm talking about it. We both get home at around 4:30, 5 o'clock from work. And, we always like to have a glass of wine, So the second time around, she mentioned the wine. The first time around, she didn't.
Right.
And I never go, aha, the wine, aha. And she goes, we have a glass of wine.
You've been caught, ma'am.
Yeah. We have a glass of wine. And I was like, okay, that's not enough to reverse, And she goes, and then, and she goes, and we like cooking together. She and her husband love being together. They have the model relationship. I was looking at her going, yeah, I wish Serena and me were like this, And she goes, And then, while we're cooking, we cook together and we put together these meals every night, and they're NSNG, and she's telling me the meals, and she goes, and we finished that bottle. While we have the second glass while we're cooking. Okay, now they're having 2 glasses, and this wasn't mentioned the first lap around. So when she got to the end
And by
of
the
it,
way, 2 people having 2 glasses,
that's a bottle.
that's a bottle.
Yeah, they
And
kill.
also, too, most of the time when you open a bottle at home, you don't fill it up like a proper pour and then empty it and then fill it up with you just keep refilling it.
No, she
That's just
admitted to
wine
me.
101.
So when she got through her whole thing the second time, and we eat and then we like to clean up, and she said, so I said, I think the wine, you guys are clearing a bottle of wine every day. I'm thinking that might be the problem right there. And she got very quiet. She goes, several times a week, we have a second bottle after dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. And, they lived in Sonoma. They lived where you live. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people up there, and they get into their wines, and there's a lot of great wine up there. And I said, well, that's your problem.
God, not only will you gain the weight back, but it'll just make your face and your hand, everything puffy, like in general.
Yeah. And
That's the
so
sucky thing about alcohol.
I haven't told this story in a long time, but we're going to continue with Lou. And folks, listen to these stories because you might hear you in the story. Now, I can't remember this woman's name. I do remember that her name was Gabriella. And she lived somewhere around Padre Island. Big NSNG, beautiful woman, by the way. Lost a bunch of weight. And then she started, the weight loss stopped. Now, this is, everyone could go, that's stupid. The bottle of wine thing, they should have known, right? It's a lot of sugar. Well, here's a different one. So Gabriella lost a bunch of weight. I want to say 70 or 80 pounds. She still had some weight to lose. She started, stopped losing weight and started creeping back just a little bit. And she took me through her diet. And Anna, again, she was perfect NSNG, the model NSNGer, right? Can't say it any other way. Okay. So I wasn't hearing it. So I said, okay, we talked for a few minutes. I said, Gabrielle, take me through your day again. She goes, all right, I wake up. And the first time she went around, she told me that she put heavy cream in her coffee. And she mentioned heavy cream. And I really listen when people speak. Second time around, she goes, I have that first mug of coffee in the morning, half and half. And then I take the big tumbler, because she had an hour-long drive to work. I bring the big tumbler, and I fill that up, heavy cream, and I went half and half heavy cream. And it just dawned on me. I stopped her in her tracks. I said, Gabrielle, are you using like a creamer? That's a problem sometimes. People will use
using
creamer.
that French vanilla stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you using
use
that? Does it taste like, cinnamon sticks or something? But, these creamers are full of junk, right? She goes, no. I use real cream. I get the best, grade A, organic, grass-fed cream. I mean, we get this great cream. And I said, but you said you also use half and half? She goes, yeah, cream. I said, so not half and half. She goes, no, half and half. And so, Gabrielle.
People do call half and half cream. And I'm always like, no, cream is cream. Half and half is half cream, half milk.
She kept going, yeah, cream, half and half. And I was like, so are you using the product half and half or cream? She goes, Vinnie, I just said I use heavy cream. Okay. Why are you
on first routine?
Yeah, it was. I said, why do you keep bringing, when are you using the half and half? She goes, silly. I pour half a cup of cream and half a cup of coffee. And I said,
oh, I didn't see it going in that direction.
Yeah. So
damn,
I said,
girl, she buy a lot of cream.
I said, hang on. how big is that that mug you make in the morning before you leave the house?
It's a full
And
Stanley.
she says, no, she goes, the mug? She goes, I don't know, the regular mug size. I said, so mugs are either 12 or 14 ounces. So let's assume your mug is 12 ounces. She goes, okay. I said, now the tumbler that you bring in the car with you, how big is that? And she says, well, it's written right here on the bottom. It's 24. No, I'm sorry. It's 20 ounces, 20 ounce mug. It's one of those big tumblers. You screw the cap on,
Yeah.
and it keeps the coffee warm. I said, so you're putting a half a cup of cream. So that's 6 ounces. And then you have 20 ounces. So you're putting another, let's call it 8 to 10 ounces. So you might be drinking as much as 16 ounces of cream every morning.
That's a pound of
she goes,
cream.
yeah. And she goes, yeah, I guess so. And I said, and you're having bacon and eggs before you leave? She goes, yeah. And I said, do you finish that? She goes, yeah, I don't finish it on the way to work, but eventually throughout the morning, I finish that cup. So every morning, so you see, she wasn't getting an insulin reaction, but she was having too much of a good thing.
Right.
If your body's taking in so much extra fat, calories do matter in this, and you're eating throughout the day, your body will never keep burning its own fat. You see, at first, when she was heavier, when she was morbidly obese, her body, the insulin settled down. She lost a lot of weight. She kept adding more and more cream. And now the cream is what she's burning. And she's not, and as a matter of fact, she started gaining a little weight. Right.
It's so interesting.
Yeah. So when people talk to me, Lou, I'm still talking to Lou here, and I'm still in the first question. So,
no, I think this is the whole question, and this is why I say this, is because it's so detailed and it's so layered, and the instinct for people to want to layer stuff on. And I just wanted you to address this fully. So, because we're at 45 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
This is a good question.
I just want
Keep
to be
going. I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
Look, the bottom line is people think you could do any of this with impunity, and you can't, right? There is such a thing as too much fat. I've had people that call me and look, this is a religion, just like veganism, but carnivores will call me and go, Vin, I was doing NSNG, I was losing weight. I went to carnivore, I was feeling even better, but now I'm not losing weight anymore. Even Sean Baker, my good friend, was having a little trouble with too much meat. If you eat, even with meat, if you're having too much,
you're
gonna have a problem.
You're gonna have to dial it back. You
got to bring it back a bit. So go on.
So Lou is asking, he's saying he's doing fasting and NSNG and having good results. Like, so
that's fine.
Do you want to talk about fasting? Do you want to talk about, but he's asking, is there something more I can do? And I don't know. I feel like, do you need to do more? If it's working, don't do more.
No, you're doing it. There is no more.
It is happening. Like, you're doing it. Good job.
Right. So look, and here's the thing, Lou. I've had people where they start serving too many kings. Like I've had people doing NSNG and they're losing weight, and then they try fasting or doing OMAD, 1 meal a day, or not eating until noontime, eating within a 6-hour window, and then the weight loss stops.
Right.
And they'll call me and go, I don't understand what's happening. I was doing NSNG, I was eating. It's like some people can get away without eating in the morning and they do fine. Other people stop eating in the morning, their metabolism won't start until they start eating. So their metabolism stays low and they can have a problem. Is it across the board? No.
Everybody's different.
It's one of those fuck around and find out situations.
You advise somebody too to start eating their breakfast earlier when you were on the VIP coaching, and it was just fascinating to hear it.
And it works. When you do it, it works.
Yeah.
So while I drink water, do an ad for me for Villa Capelli. Thanks.
Yeah, I will say this. I talk for a living and I can't often make a meal, especially certain things are going to make your mouth weird. So what I love to do is a shot of Villa Capelli olive oil. And I know that sounds so crazy, but if you put a little salt and a little olive oil in there, it's like having a snack, but you're not getting like any sort of mouth stuff going on. And then you can go talk if you talk for a living. But it's a great, listen, when you switch to NSNG, you're going to start having more olive oil, and you're going to start looking in the grocery store for clean olive oils, and you're going to be hard pressed, pun intended, to find one. Villa Capelli has been a longtime sponsor of this show. They make a clean olive oil, the most clean olive oil, extra virgin, which is the first press of the olive. And they make it from Coratino and Frontoio olives in Puglia, Italy. Stephen Crutchfield is the proprietor. He's in charge of all of this. And they send us the oil from Puglia, and it is clean, clean, clean. If you find a product on grocery store shelves and the ingredient is olive oil, it ain't olive oil. It's cut with
Nope.
something else. It must say extra virgin olive oil. And even then, sometimes companies mess with it. Food fraud is rampant in the olive oil
it
world.
is.
And it's very disappointing.
Can I give one of my recipes that I've been doing this one now for a month again.
Yeah.
I go in and out of doing this. I get the really high end. I splurge on this. I get the really high end Parmigiana. And I get my Kalamata, my olives.
Yep.
I like the one with the pit still in it, the fresh ones. And I take the Maldon salt and I put it in a little salsa, and I put the Villa Capelli on top. And then I get a slice of the Parmigiana, and I dip both sides. Get it, bagnate. It means wet in Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides, bagnate, and it gets the salt on there, and it's got the olive oil, and I put that in my mouth, and I chase it with an olive.
Yes.
And I'll stand there and do 4 or 5 slices and 5 or 6 olives, because I don't really eat during the day. That's about 1 o'clock when I'm having my afternoon espresso, I do that with the Kalamata and the Villa Capelli and the good Parmigiana, bagnate, and I move on.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. So, folks, if you want to be a wop like me, do that.
And a dago like me, then do that.
You want to be a guinea like me, do that.
Then do that.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a hold of some Villa Capelli olive oil, it's super easy. Go to villacapelli.com and make sure you use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, and you'll get 10% off your order each and every time. Here's the trick. Make sure your cart size is around $145 or more. I mean, get as much.
140 is all you need.
That'll do it. When you use the discount code, you'll qualify for the free shipping, because it's really expensive to ship oil, and you want to get that free shipping.
Yeah.
Don't tell Stephen we said that, but we always say that because we want y'all to save it all.
Our sponsor who dutifully pays us every month.
We're just going to cheat him out of that money. He has to pay make him pay for the shipping. Make Stephen pay.
Stephen, make him hurt.
Make Stephen pay.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Hashtag make Stephen pay.
Hashtag make Stephen pay. Please tag. Don't tag him. Just go buy Villa Capelli olive oil. It's really good.
Look, as Stephen's husband used to say, when other sponsors wanted to sign up, he would say, listen, just pay Anna and Vinnie and let them don't even write a mad copy, which I think is the biggest compliment in the world.
I mean, I read ad copy professionally, and still it's not going to be as good as what we come up with. Yeah. Sorry.
They told Squatty Potty, just give them their check and do not give them.
Do you know I still have my Squatty Potties? I love those things.
Anna, I use mine every day. That's the one product that's never broken. It's never broke.
It's never broken. It's never broken.
You know what's the funny thing about it? We used to do 20-minute ads for Squatty Potty because we like talking about being in a bathroom and duty and the whole thing.
I know, exactly.
We did a whole podcast about Squatty Potty.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, we made that company. We were like their only online at the time, and then they got really big and then didn't need us anymore.
I think they went on Shark Tank or whatever. And
then they got boom, and then they paid us for a long time.
I still love Squatty Potty. I will always sing their praises.
Are they still out there? Because the product never breaks. It's just a lump of plastic, and we still have them in the bathrooms. As a matter of fact, when I travel, I got to get the garbage can in the bathroom and put my feet on that because I don't know.
They have all kinds of designs now.
Really?
Yeah. I just have the white $24 one. I love that thing.
Me too.
I didn't mean to do an ad for Squatty Potty, but I freaking love Squatty Potty.
If you want to get a great product that we used to advertise on this show, Squatty Potty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what I'm making for dinner? Not Chateaubriand. Steak.
What kind of steak?
Chateaubriand.
Chateaubriand.
We sound almost identical.
Wait, I'm gonna see if you can match him. You
Okay.
ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here. All right. You go first.
No, play him first, and I'll match him.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Chateaubriand.
Chateau. Hold on. Chateaubriand. No. Chateaubriand. See, I'm an octave higher than him.
You can't.
Play it
You gotta
again.
get more. You gotta get more of the.
No, but I'm doing it. I'm matching his tone. I'm just an octave higher than him.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear it again?
Yeah.
Chateaubriand.
Chateaubriand. See, I can't go an octave lower than that.
Chateaubriand.
Chateaubriand. See, I can't do it. You do it.
Chateaubriand.
Chateaubriand.
Yeah, you can get there. I love it. I can't get down further than this.
I can get there.
One time I was doing this promo for the Super Bowl for Fox, and this is probably like 15 years ago. And I was so excited because I hadn't done a bunch of promos at that point. So I was so thrilled to book this job. And they were doing like, yeah, can you just do it again, but like sound deeper. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't know what they meant. And so I was like, so eventually I was like, Fox, there's big games on Fox. Like it sounded so stupid. Now I know what they meant, which is they wanted that like really like deep, sexy read. The big game on Fox is what they wanted.
Oh,
but I didn't understand. And my agent called me as soon as I got back in the car, and he's like, "What happened? Because they literally immediately fired you." And I was like, "Oh, I thought they were wanting me to just go deeper."
So they didn't tell you. You see, that's the thing.
No. That's Hollywood. They don't tell you. You just get fired.
Yeah, that's right. That's the thing. I think I told this story before. It was like back when I was modeling, Anna. They would have you come in, and this is illegal to do. But it like I went in for one. It was like a beef stick, like a Slim Jim type thing, but a different one.
Yeah.
Back at the time, and they wanted you to bite into it and go, and then give your own comment about it, which is illegal to do.
It's totally illegal, and they do it all the time. And in fact, Lauren did this audition for Volkswagen 20 years ago, and he ad-libbed jokes, and they put him on hold, and then they were like, you got it. And then they went up with another guy, and his jokes were in the final spot, but they had to pay him a session fee because they told him he did get it, but then they changed their minds the last minute. But his joke was in the final spot.
Yeah, that's so illegal for him to do.
A man who's won an Emmy for comedy writing. They took his joke. And that's why it's illegal, because they do that. They'll lift your joke and not pay you.
Your husband knows this because he's a writer, but like when writers like Dean Laurie, they run big shows and the whole thing. When people send them scripts, they don't even
They're not allowed to read them. They can't.
They don't open them. They put them back in the mail, send them back.
They can't be accused of stealing anything.
Yeah, because people say, oh, I sent them that, and then they used it.
So did you bite the meat stick and say something amazing?
Well, I bit it, and it was so bad that I made a face in the camera, and they went, okay, you're out of here. I wasn't a very good actor at all, and I never tried acting, but I earned a living by being a model, and I couldn't lie about things, man. It was like, oh God. I was just the worst. I was the worst when it came to those.
Oh God, that's so
I think I've talked about this on the show before, but the last ad, like I had quit. I told my agent because I was now big enough in the training world that I didn't have to go out on auditions anymore.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, only send me out if it's a national campaign for like Ford or something like that, where, you're driving, you're in the car and you got paid big money for that.
Right.
Like if it's a national car campaign or whatever. And she calls me and she goes, I have one for you. And I went, I told you it's got to be big. And they went, go to this one. It's a national ad. And I go to it and I get put on a veil. You want to explain to the audience what a veil means?
Well, in the commercial world, when you're put on a veil, they put a lot of people on a veil. And then if they put you on hold, they have to pay you, or if they book you, they have to pay you. But if you're on a veil, that means that they're checking your availability to see if you're going to get the job. But they put a bunch of people on a veil, and they're top selects usually.
In this case, I was on a veil with one other man.
Oh, that's nice. That doesn't happen very often.
And I even asked, I said, they put me on a veil, and I said, and it was an ad for Coca-Cola. And they put me on a veil with another guy that either I used to get the job or he used to get the job. The guy's name, you can look him up. His name is Lucky Vanus. And it was that famous ad where all the women in the office building would run to the window like they would look at the clock and it would be noontime, and they would run to the window because the construction guy down below would be sweating, and he would take his shirt off and kind of wipe his brow with the cold Coke can and then drink the Coke shirt off. It was me and Lucky, and that was the last big national ad I went for.
So you're telling me Lucky got it?
Lucky got it, and I didn't.
Oh.
I was put on the veil, and I went, you know what? It's good riddance, because at that point I was already
it's a rough
my bones.
It's a rough game.
For everyone who's new to this podcast, and I know there's a gazillion of you because I see the numbers, you keep hearing Chateaubriand. That's Sam Elliott. It's an ad he did for beef back in the day. And I would be remiss if I didn't play the whole ad for you right now. We're going to end the podcast with this. And I want you guys to hear this, because these ads should be back on the air full time. It's often been said there are 12 mustaches in Hollywood, and 10 of them are owned by Mr. Sam Elliott, greatest actor to ever live. It's one man's opinion. And I think we've done it here today.
We did it.
Folks, go right now. I see everyone putting their thing online for Anna's. Will that thing still be going on? So it
will not. It's done on the 12th. So the leg of prosciutto giveaway will be done. But please write reviews. You guys are already making dishes. You're posting and tagging dishes. I mean, the book's been out for less than 48 hours and people are making food. Bob Zimmer's made food. Katie Applegate's made food. You guys, it's blowing me away.
Yeah. So everyone, please go get Eat Happy Italian. And you can no longer get the prosciutto. Anna has already given it away, and I couldn't win it. I tried.
Nope. You're on the inside. You can't do it.
You're running.
Fitness Confidential and its employees are not eligible.
Yeah. Well, could Debbie get it?
I already put her in because she shared a whole thing. So yes. And Leona too.
Leona, they could get it, but not me. Okay. Yeah. I see how we roll. Okay. Ask me to do something for you sometime.
Why don't you share the book again on your socials, and maybe I'll consider it.
Okay. Yeah. You're not sending me. You won't even send me cheap ham from the grocery store. Folks, go check out Anna Vocino and Eat Happy Italian. I will be doing a thing for her on my Instagram. Anna, remind me to do that.
Okay.
Do a thing and make me a collaborator.
Okay.
All right. Do that. All right. I got a movie out there. Dirty Keto is kicking ass. Go to Amazon. Good. Go right there to Amazon. You know what to do. Do the Amazon thing and then do a review. Let people know you like it. Tell your friends about it. It's a word of mouth thing. We played a lot of songs here on the show today.
Sorry, Debbie.
But we're going to end with a song too. So on behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with these ladies. They were called suffragettes.